The bustling streets of New York City, once a beacon of hope for immigrants seeking a new life, now echo with the chilling clang of handcuffs. The recent surge in migrant arrests has cast a long shadow over the city's reputation as a sanctuary city, leaving many wondering, is the Big Apple losing its bite of compassion? Based on the latest information, New York City has modified its right to shelter policy, which now allows the city to limit stays in shelters for some adult migrants to 30 days without offering them a chance to reapply, except under certain conditions. This policy change is a response to the significant influx of migrants and the resulting strain on the city's resources. The rise in arrests comes on the heels of several crimes allegedly committed by migrants. Understandably, this has shaken some residents' sense of security. Images of frightened children, separated from their parents at crowded detention centers, tug at the heartstrings, sparking outrage from immigrant rights groups. They paint a picture of a city turning its back on the vulnerable, a place where dreams are snatched away instead of nurtured. Proponents of the arrests argue with the fervor of those protecting their homes. They speak of overflowing shelters, strained social services, and a growing fear of crime. Their voices crackle with frustration, tired of feeling the burden of a national issue on their local shoulders. They plead for order, for a return to the vibrant city that once thrived without feeling overwhelmed. According to New York and NYPost, District Attorney Alvin Bragg made a statement regarding the arrest. He emphasized that his office does not tolerate assaults on police officers and is working to ensure that the correct individuals are charged with the appropriate crimes. But scratch beneath the surface of these arguments, and a different narrative emerges. Immigrant rights advocates paint a picture of a community living in constant fear. Imagine yourself, uprooted from your life, seeking safety in a new land, only to be met with suspicion and hostility. How would you feel if every knock on the door sent shivers down your spine, every police siren a harbinger of separation and despair? They argue that these arrests create a climate of silence, where victims are too afraid to come forward, and witnesses disappear into the shadows. Opponents argue these arrests create a climate of fear within immigrant communities and discourage them from reporting crimes or cooperating with police. They also express concern that due process might not be followed and that some migrants may be wrongly targeted. The full scope of the arrest program remains unclear. Officials haven't released details on the number of migrants arrested or the specific charges they face. Additionally, it's uncertain whether these are isolated incidents or a signal of a broader shift in NYC's immigration enforcement policies. The human cost of these arrests is staggering. Families are torn apart, trust is eroded, and the very fabric of a city that prides itself on diversity begins to fray. Is this the legacy New York City wants to leave behind? The truth, as is often the case, lies somewhere in the messy middle. There's no denying the challenges posed by a large influx of migrants. But isn't this a national issue demanding a national solution, one that shouldn't fall solely on the shoulders of already strained city resources? The lack of transparency surrounding these arrests only adds to the confusion and fear. How many migrants have been arrested? What specific charges are they facing? Are these isolated incidents, or a harbinger of a more permanent shift in policy? These are questions that demand answers, not just from local authorities, but from a nation grappling with its own identity. This debate in NYC reflects a larger national conversation about immigration. The federal government's handling of the border crisis and the role of local authorities in enforcing immigration laws are contentious issues. The coming weeks and months will be a crucible for New York City. Will it find a way to balance compassion with security, or will it succumb to the allure of easy answers and divisive rhetoric? The nation watches with bated breath, for the fate of countless immigrants hangs in the balance, along with the soul of a city that has always prided itself on being a refuge for the tired, the poor, the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. How will the city navigate the complex interplay between upholding its legacy as a beacon of hope and adapting to the pressing demands of public safety and order? Let's see how the situation unfolds.